Hey everybody, it's Ethan, doing my 9-month update on hormones T. Yes, as you can see, there's our lovely little Christmas tree. Figured I'd show you guys something better looking than my face. Anyway, jokes aside, 9 months. I spent this last month on well, I will call them estrogen blockers because I guess that's what it is. I know I debated this on my last video, but I'm still confused. Anyway, the suppressors, blockers, medicine that I was on that was stopping the binding of the testosterone to the enzyme that was converting it to estrogen, that medicine, Arimidex. I'm still on it right now, but I had blood work done yesterday, so I should know here next week what's up with my hormone levels. If it changed anything, if it didn't change anything, I don't know. Personally, I've been trying to gauge like where I'm at or if anything's happened based on my emotions because nothing really physically has happened. I think maybe some facial hair is coming in a little bit faster. I shaved yesterday and I can already feel like stubble. So I know I run my hands on my face like that. Anyway, yeah. So maybe just more hair. I had a couple of moments in the month where I thought my voice was gonna drop because I got that sore throat thing going on. I did get it back yesterday again, so maybe I don't know. I don't know if there's some minor adjustments going on with my voice, but I haven't noticed any appreciable drop, which is fine. My voice sounds good, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell anymore. Um, so yeah, I didn't really see a whole lot of changes. Again, I think the last. Uh, I think just everything is just more of a fine tuning, gradual process from now on. A lot of the dramatic stuff happened up front. I'm hoping one day I will be able to grow some facial hair that's more than just this little scruff. Yeah. You still really can't see it on camera. You can see it in person though, a little bit. Um, anyway, since I don't have much else to update on in that respect, I will tell you guys a little fun story. Yesterday, um, I had been unemployed for going on 9 months, I guess. I got out of the army and I did take some time off to have surgery and just to let myself go through the transition a little bit. I had prepared financially for it, so I was able to do it. Um, However, I started job searching about 4 months ago and nothing so far. And let me just say, it has been one of the most extremely frustrating things. It's almost creeping up there with waiting to transition or being in the military and not being able to transition when I wanted to. Um, it's almost that frustrating. Um, I have a lot of solid experience and good skills and just yeah, it's just not. It's not happening for me. Yeah, I think a lot of it is I just don't have some of the private sector uh, experience that people are looking for. All I have is military experience. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough transition. Not only, well, my personal transition hasn't been that bad, but yeah, just I'm sick of being unemployed. And I'm sure I'll say the same when I get a job that I'll be sick of working. But yeah, I just need something to mentally use my mental capacity or to stimulate me a little bit. I do volunteer work, and I was working on a farm for a little while, so um, I have tried to keep myself busy. I also just recently picked up a gig uh, with my LGBT center. I'm on the board of directors now, which is nice. So, I've tried to do some things. But yeah, extremely frustrating not being able to find a job right now. Um, that being said, I started getting unemployment a couple weeks ago, and I've been using the WorkSource office, which is our local center to help you find employment. And so my funny story, and I know it took me a long time to get back into that, back into the story here, but my funny story centered around last week. I sat down with a guy. He was a veterans counselor. Pretty nice. I'm still not sure he can really help me specifically, but that's another story. So I sat down with him last week and we went over my history, and I showed him my resume, and he thought it looked pretty good. He wanted to do some formatting changes to it, but he asked me if I could either bring in or email him a copy of my discharge paperwork from the military, so he could see that I was actually in the military. So that's where it got fun. So this week I called him up and I said, hey, look, I would like to come by and bring you the paperwork now. I decided it'd be best to do this in person because my name is obviously not the same as it used to be on my discharge paperwork. So I knew that was not going to be fun to explain it to this guy who's ex-military, could be super conservative. I don't know, So and the way it works is when you get to the WorkSource place, you call them back on this little reception area phone, and they have to come out and get you. And there's other people in this little waiting area. So he comes out to get me. He's a pretty loud, talkative guy, and he comes over. He's like, "Hey, let me see this paperwork." And I'm giving it to him as we're walking away, and I'm hoping we're getting far enough away that people aren't going to hear the exchange of conversation because, he's looking at it, and I'm sure his eyes are looking at this name that does not match the name I gave him. And I'm also trying to hand him my court documents for the name change, and the photocopy of my driver's license so he can see proof of identity. So we're walking, and he's kind of like, and he's looking at both papers, and I didn't know what he was gonna say. And then we get back into his office, and he's like, "Wow, this makes a lot more sense now." And I was like, why does it make sense? He's like, I just thought you looked really young last week, but this makes so much more sense. And then he said something that really, I don't know, I could have taken it worse than I did. I think it got me a little bit, but he said, I was thinking about long hair. And I was like, what? I don't know. Apparently he was thinking it would make more sense if I had long hair. I don't know. It's not really a compliment. But anyway, I guess I kind of moved past that pretty quickly, and he said, he started asking a lot of questions, like, does the military know? Did it affect my discharge? Has there been any negative repercussions yet? And I was like, I don't know. Like, nobody's gonna write that in an email or call me back and say, sorry, you didn't get the job because you're a transsexual. Like, people aren't just going to do that. That's blatant out and out discrimination. Maybe, but I'm not applying to companies that would probably do that. So I was like, I don't know if it's been a barrier, but I've been upfront about it as I've had to submit my discharge paperwork to get veterans preference, which I need all the help I can get, so I've been asking for it. So yeah, and then he, as everybody seems to want to do, and I guess it's a nice gesture, but he had to tell me stories about his experience with mostly gay people, not really trans, but he did say he had watched this thing on Oprah. Turns out it was about Magic Johnson and his gay son. Not really applicable here, but anyway, it was a nice gesture. And then he told me another story, which again, probably not the best. I'm not sure he quite grasped the concept, but he said that at his wife's place of work, they had a man that started using the women's restroom and dressing like a woman, and he's like, there was a big uproar at first, but now everybody's fine with it, and it's cool. He's like, so it's kind of like you're the reverse, like you were like him, but you're just dressing in men's clothes. Like, yeah, that's all I'm doing. Not hormones and surgery. But I was not going to get into it with him. I was just happy that he was okay with it, and we didn't really have to. Like, I wasn't fighting him on my immoral lifestyle choice. And you know, he is actually pretty interested in knowing a little bit more. And you know, he did say this helps me because when I'm out there promoting you, and then I'll know that we really need to look at open-minded companies, or you know, people that would be open-minded. He says somebody will give you a chance. Don't worry. So I don't know. We'll see. I really hope so soon because it's frustrating. But anyway, so kind of a funny story. Um, but yeah, so that's it really, I guess. Yeah, 9 months. 3/4 of a year down. So the next big milestone really is the year mark. Yeah, I will make some other videos as more topics come up. Take care and happy holidays, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.